It was a bitterly cold evening in the city. Daniel Price, once the golden boy of Silicon Valley, stood on the rooftop of his own failing company's building. His investors had walked away, debts piled higher than his dreams, and his name, once praised in business magazines, was now whispered with pity. He didn't climb the roof to jump, but he came because it was the only place that felt quiet in the chaos of his collapsing life. Then he saw her. At the far edge of the roof stood a young woman, her hands trembling against the railing. Her long coat did little to hide the curve of her belly, she was visibly pregnant. Daniel froze. "Hey," he shouted over the wind. Don't do this." She turned, startled, eyes wet with tears. "You don't understand. I have no one. No money. No home. I can't do this alone." Daniel's chest tightened. Those words echoed his own unspoken despair. He took a careful step closer, lifting his hands as though approaching something fragile. "You're right," he said softly. "I don't understand everything you're carrying. But I know what it feels like when the world is too heavy. And I also know," his voice broke, but he steadied it. "Jumping won't make it lighter. It just takes away your chance to see the weight turn into something else. Something good." She shook her head, gripping the railing tighter. "What good could come from me? I'm already a mistake." Daniel felt the sting in those words, because he had whispered them to himself countless nights. He inched closer until he was only a step away. With every ounce of strength left in him, he reached forward and pulled her back. She collapsed against him, sobbing, her hands clutching her stomach protectively. And just like that, Daniel's own despair shifted. He wasn't thinking about his failed company anymore, or the headlines, or the weight of his debt. He was thinking about her. About the tiny heartbeat she was carrying. About the fact that sometimes the universe puts someone in front of you not so you can save them, but so they can save you too. When she finally caught her breath, she whispered, "Why did you care? You don't even know me." Daniel smiled faintly. "Because once, I wished someone would care enough to stop me. Maybe tonight, it was my turn." The twist came weeks later. Daniel had taken her to a shelter that night, bought her a warm meal, and promised to check in. True to his word, he did. Slowly, he learned her story. Her name was Emily, she had been abandoned by her partner, and she was trying to find work while sleeping in her car. One afternoon, while Daniel was cleaning out old files in his office, Emily stopped by. She handed him a folded envelope. Inside was a resume, not hers, but her late father's. He had been a brilliant engineer whose inventions had once been shelved, forgotten in the chaos of layoffs and poor timing. "You said your company is struggling," Emily said softly. "These were my dad's designs. He always believed they could change things. I don't know if they're worth anything, but maybe they can help you the way you helped me." Daniel stared at the pages, stunned. The technology wasn't just good, it was revolutionary. Months later, that very invention would breathe life into Daniel's dying company, saving it from collapse. But the true victory wasn't financial. It was the bond between two broken souls who refused to let despair define them. The night on the roof became a turning point, not just for Emily, who found safety and hope for her unborn child, but for Daniel, who rediscovered purpose not in profit, but in people. And when Emily finally gave birth to a healthy baby boy, she asked Daniel to be the child's godfather. He held the baby in his arms, tears slipping down his cheeks, whispering, "I guess we both got pulled back from the edge." The city lights twinkled below like 1,000 careless stars. Daniel Price stood on the rooftop, his breath visible in the freezing air. The world knew him as a CEO, a man who once raised millions for a tech dream. But tonight, he was just another broken soul staring into the dark. He hadn't come up here to die, but he had wondered, more than once, what it would feel like if all the noise, all the pressure, just stopped. Then he saw her. A young woman at the far edge, gripping the railing like it was her last defense. Her long coat swayed with the wind, and underneath, her stomach rounded gently. She was pregnant. Daniel's heart dropped. "Hey," he called out, the urgency cracking in his voice. "Don't jump." She froze, startled. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her lips trembling as if she'd already said goodbye to the world. "You don't understand," she whispered. "I have nothing left. No one. I can't raise a baby alone." Daniel took a cautious step forward, palms raised. His voice softened. "You're right. I don't understand everything you're going through, but I know the weight you're carrying feels unbearable. I know what it's like to think the world has already closed the door on you." He hesitated, his throat tightening as his own truth slipped out. "I know, because I feel it too." Her grip on the railing tightened. The wind howled between them. Daniel took another step closer. "But listen," he said gently. "If you jump tonight, you'll never know what could have been. You'll never give that little heartbeat inside you a chance. And, maybe, just maybe, you'll take away the chance for someone else, someone like me, to be changed by your story."